It usually starts with a shadow of a feeling, doesn't it? A small, flickering moment in a crowded place where you realize the eyes of the world are simply moving around you, rather than landing on you. You might be standing in line at the post office, or sitting on a bench in a sun-drenched park, and suddenly, it hits you. The current of life is flowing fast, and you are standing on the bank, watching the water rush by. It isn't a loud realization. It's quiet, like the first snowfall of the year that covers the grass before you even notice it's cold. You might look in the mirror and see the same person you've always been, the one who raised the children, the one who held the career together, the one who laughed until their sides ached in the kitchen of a house that used to be full of noise. But out there, in the bright, humming world, you feel like a ghost. People look toward you, but they seem to see right through you, as if you are a pane of glass reflecting the sky instead of a person with a heart and a history. Maybe you've noticed it at the grocery store. The cashier is polite, but their eyes are already searching for the younger person behind you. Or perhaps it's at a family gathering, where the conversation leaps and bounds over your head like a game of catch that you aren't invited to play. You have the words ready, you have the stories, but the window of opportunity closes before you can speak, and so you sit back, take a sip of your drink, and wonder when exactly you became so transparent. It's a heavy kind of loneliness, isn't it? It's not the sharp pain of a fresh wound, but the dull ache of being forgotten while you're still standing right here. You are still full of fire, still full of dreams and opinions and a lifetime of hard-earned wisdom. Yet, the world seems to have decided that your chapter is written, and they've moved on to the next book in the library. Can make you feel small, can make you feel like you're shrinking into the corners of your own life. I want you to think about a man named Arthur. Arthur lived in a small, clapboard house with a porch that creaked in just the right way when he sat down in the evenings. For 40 years, Arthur was the man people went to when things broke. He was a master of his craft, a man whose hands were always stained with oil or dust, hands that knew the language of engines and wood. People leaned on him. They needed him. His phone rang at dinner time with neighbors asking for help, and his days were a blur of being essential. But then came the day when the shop closed. The children moved to cities with names he only saw on weather reports. The phone stopped its insistent ringing. One Tuesday afternoon, Arthur went to the local hardware store, a place where he used to be a king of sorts. He stood in the aisle, looking for a specific type of brass screw. A young clerk walked past him 3 times, helping others who had arrived long after Arthur had. When Arthur finally spoke up, the young man jumped, as if surprised to find a human being standing there at all. Arthur went home and sat on his porch. He looked at his hands, which were clean for the first time in decades. He felt a profound, echoing silence. He felt invisible. He felt as though he had played his part in the grand play of life, and the stagehands were already moving the scenery while he was still trying to deliver his final lines. He sat there until the sun went down, feeling the cold air settle into his bones, wondering if this was all that was left, to be a spectator in a world he had helped build. For a long time, Arthur struggled. He tried to make himself seen. He would dress in his best clothes just to go to the post office. He would try to strike up conversations with strangers, only to feel the sting of their hurried, distracted answers. He felt like he was shouting into a void. But then, something began to change, not in the world around him, but in the way Arthur looked at the silence. One morning, he was sitting in his usual spot when he noticed a bird building a nest in the eaves of his porch. Because he was still and because he was quiet, the bird didn't fear him. He watched the intricate way she wove the grass and the bits of string. He realized that if he had been his old, busy, visible self, he would have missed this entirely. He began to see the world with the eyes of an observer, a witness to the small miracles that the busy people are too rushed to notice. He started to realize that being invisible wasn't a prison. It was a different kind of freedom. When you are no longer the center of the storm, you can finally see the beauty of the rain. He didn't need to perform anymore. He didn't need to prove his worth to a clerk or a stranger. His worth was tucked away in the lives he had touched, the things he had built, and the quiet peace he was finally allowed to cultivate. He began to find a new kind of companionship in the stillness. You see, my friend, there is a secret to these quiet years that the world doesn't tell you. When the world stops looking at you, you are finally free to look at the world. For so long, you were defined by what you did for others. You were a mother, a father, a boss, an employee, a caregiver. You were a role that people needed you to play. And when those roles fall away, it feels like you are losing yourself. But you aren't. You are simply shedding the layers that were never the true you anyway. Think of a grand old library. When you walk past it on a busy street, you might not even notice the building. It's just there, part of the landscape, quiet and gray. The people rushing to work don't look at it. The teenagers on their phones don't give it a second thought. To them, the library is invisible. But inside those walls, inside, there is every story ever told. There is adventure and heartbreak and the collective knowledge of humanity. The library doesn't need to shout to be important. Its value is contained within its silence. You are that library. You are a repository of stories and strength. Just because the people outside aren't browsing the shelves today doesn't mean the books aren't there. It doesn't mean the stories have lost their power. Your value is not determined by how many eyes are on you. Your value is inherent. It is in the way you carry yourself through a difficult day. It is in the way you still offer a kind word to the world, even when the world is too busy to say it back. Perhaps it's time to stop fighting the invisibility and start embracing the vantage point it gives you. When you are invisible, you can be a secret blessing to the world. You can be the one who notices the lonely child in the park and offers a gentle smile. You can be the one who prays for the neighbors in the middle of the night when the world is hushed. You can be the anchor of peace in a sea of chaos. There is a deep, resonant power in being the one who watches, the one who understands, the one who remains. I know there are nights when the house feels too big and the clock ticks a little too loudly. I know there are moments when you want to scream into the night, I am still here. I want you to know that I hear you. I see you. The stars see you. The earth beneath your feet knows the weight of your step and remembers every mile you have walked. You are not a shadow. You are a steady light, and even if the world has closed its blinds, your light is still shining. Take a deep breath with me now. Feel the air fill your lungs. That breath is a miracle. It is proof that you have a purpose today, even if that purpose is simply to exist in peace. You don't have to earn your place on this earth anymore. You've already done that. You've paid your dues. You've run your race. Now you are allowed to walk. You are allowed to sit. You are allowed to simply be. The world's neglect is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of the world's frantic pace. They are missing out on you, not the other way around. They are missing the depth of your eyes and the resonance of your story. But you don't have to wait for them to notice. You can notice yourself. You can honor the person you have become. You can treat yourself with the tenderness and respect that you so freely gave to others for all those years. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon and the colors of the sky turn to those soft, bruised purples and golds, remember that the most beautiful parts of the day are often the quietest. The dawn and the dusk don't have the roar of the midday sun, but they have a grace that the midday can never understand. You are in your golden hour. It is a time for softening. It is a time for reflection. It is a time for knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are in the stillness. Tonight, when you turn out the lights and the world settles into its slumber, I want you to feel the warmth of your own spirit. You are a traveler who has seen much, and though the road has grown quiet, the journey is no less significant. Sleep well, knowing that you are held in the thoughts of those who understand. You are not invisible to the universe. You are a vital part of the fabric of everything. And tomorrow, when you wake up, look at the world with your new eyes. Look at the trees, the sky, the small details of your home. Recognize that you are the witness to it all. There is a great dignity in that. There is a great peace in being the one who sees. You are here. You are loved. And you are never truly alone in the quiet. I am right here with you, sitting in the silence, honoring the beautiful, steady soul that you are. We will walk through these quiet years together, one soft step at a time. The world may look past us, but we will look at each other, and we will see the brilliance that everyone else is missing. Rest now. The day is done, and you have done well. You are seen, you are cherished, and you are home.